Hey, coming up on the show, I got a prince. No, I couldn't afford the king. And no, it's not Prince Charles, Prince Charming, or any of those princes. But we got Prince George joining me, coming up live in the lab with keithbilous.
Hi, I'm keithbilous, and this is Live in the Lab.
All right. A little bit of weirdness in front of the camera there for anybody who's watching. So I'm like, hey, where's the button? Where's the button? I can't get it going.
How did you go viral on TikTok?
You were on America's Got Talent. How much did you get paid to be on AGT? Oh, you didn't get paid. Keith and Steve here in live in the lab.
You're a great interviewer. I love it.
48 miles, 48 hours. And not just once. You ain't seen nothing yet. I hit 50 last time, and I'm like, yeah, things are a little different than they were 10 years ago. So trust me, things are to keep. You have no time for the BS that much of society seems to put on the table. Why is that? Like, what you're talking about is real right now. There's just no bullshit here, but it's just real.
We brought you in with some Marley. I said, Joseph, let's talk music for a second. You said, well, Keith, oldies, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I've never talked to a sir before. Why are you a sir? In many ways, we're the same story. I came from nothing. You came from nothing.
I think the old saying goes that if you want a trophy, you climb Everest. If you want respect, you climb K2.
I've built an AI myself, and it's pretty fascinating when you can have a conversation with yourself with your own knowledge. Have you done that before? Why are we rushing to make these tools if all they're going to do is hurt humanity?
Does the world need an Oppenheimer moment with AI?
What a fun show.
Going on, nation, business athlete nation. Hey, we got a prince today. Yep, he's joining me here in a few moments. He was looking for the link. I think he'll be a few moments behind. Joining me today live like Prince George. That's the guy. Prince George coming up. Moments. Actor, movie star. Bunch of wonderful accomplishments Prince George brings to the table. I'm excited to talk to him today. He's just joining me here in the green room, popping in here in a moment. I don't think he knows what he got himself into. He's like, oh, who's this guy talking over there on the camera? It's me, Prince. As I said to Nation, didn't have budget for the king today. No king. No kings available. So Prince William wasn't available. Prince Charles wasn't available. So we got Prince George. I'm not saying he's less than Charles or the king. That's what was available. So Tuesday, we got Prince George joining me here in a few moments. But before we bring in the prince, I want to address something that's been happening in my world that I'm extremely excited about. You know what it is? And it's fascinating to me that's happening in front of my eyes. I'm going to cite some lyrics, which might be, well, you're going to know the lyrics. It's by some guy. I got the poster behind me. Let me ask you a question. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything, and I mean everything, in that one moment, would you pause and would you capture it? Or are you just sitting there letting it slip? Because you know what? I'm capturing it. This morning, I interacted with 88 human beings one-to-one. You're thinking, why? Because I'm building Business Athlete Nation. I'm on a mission. I'm on the mission, Prince, to create the biggest talk show on YouTube and LinkedIn, to become the biggest talk show host on LinkedIn and YouTube. And to do that, I'm connecting with every single one of you because I got one shot. I got one opportunity, and I'm going to use that one shot, that one opportunity to seize everything. I'm not going to let it slip. People say, Keith, why are you doing this? I got people sending messages back saying, are you actually messaging every single person? I'm like, yeah, I am. Think about this. If you're an artist building an audience, you got this wonderful tool. If I invest 1 minute in you and you kind of like me, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to give the guy 10 minutes. Then you do it again. You give me 10 more minutes to tell your friends. They give him 10 minutes. Next thing you know, my 1 minute has compounded into multiple minutes. And I've built my audience on my path to building the world's biggest talk show on LinkedIn and YouTube. So I would invite you not to doubt me. Don't doubt what's happening in front of you. If anything, I would encourage you to get on for the ride. Because you know how I'm inspired. All you got to see is Marshall's poster hanging up there. And as I was walking into the lab this morning, thinking about my conversation with Prince George, I thought to myself this: if you had one shot, if you had one opportunity, would you capture it? Would you seize it? Or would you let it slip by? I spoke with somebody this morning who I sent a message to. And if he's listening, you know who I'm talking to. And you said this to me. You said, I have a goal. I have an ambition. My goal, my ambition is to get on stage at a TED Talk and go talk to the audience. You know what I said to him? I said, I invite you to the lab for coffees with myself and Nicole, get comfortable getting on video. But I'm telling you this, nation, if you have one shot, one opportunity, and you're sitting there and you're miserable and you're unhappy and you're looking to go achieve a big, audacious goal, go and capture it. Don't let it slip. And I got an invite for you. Come join me and Nicole this Friday, mornings in the lab. Audacious Goals Friday. Come put your goal on the table. Nicole's running an ultra marathon. She's never done it before in June. I'm building the world's biggest talk show. I've never done it before. Is it audacious? No, it's reality happening right in front of you. So remember, if you had one shot, one opportunity, would you capture it or would you let it slip behind you? All right, coming up, he's patiently waiting for me in the green room. We're going to bring up Prince George and have a enlightening conversation with the man. There we go. Boom. Creating great content live in the lab. That's why we don't record. It's why we don't. Well, we of course are recording. We are recording this episode for later. Let's just see if Prince can hear us now. Prince, you got me?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you are. There you are. How are you, man?
Oh, I am blessed, brother. And you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Where are you joining us from today, Prince George?
Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles, California. How's life in LA today?
Oh, it's blessed every day, brother. Can't complain too bad.
Yeah. So tell me in Business Athlete Nation about Prince George.
Well, I'm a writer, spokesman, film actor, television actor, and musician. I work for a company called Warzone Comics.
Awesome. Yes. So you're a Warzone Comics guy.
Oh yeah, for 22 years.
Yes. So let's get back to the beginning of that though. Let's get back to acting, musician. So child actor. Am I wrong?
Yeah, sure.
Am I correct? Incorrect?
No, I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes.
Yeah, so you started your career as a child actor, and you have been in the industry for how many years?
22 years.
22 years. Wow. And now you've progressed and tell business.
Well, actually, correct. With Warzone Comics, since the beginning of Warzone Comics, it's been 22 years. But I've been with the King Show, with the King Show included, it's been over maybe 20 something years, maybe 30 years. Maybe.
Okay. So tell me and tell Business Athlete Nation a little bit about Warzone Comics.
We've been around. We're a comic book entertainment company.
Okay.
We started out doing comics initially. If you can see the posters, and my shirt is of our character. We have a comic book character named Bugsy.
Okay.
We have over 500 characters, but our main character we're working on right now is called Bugsy.
Okay.
Which we're working on a movie project that comes out this year. August 30th.
Okay.
And then also we have a show right now called the Prince George Show that we relaunched on Amazon Prime and a few other streaming platforms.
Okay.
Where I help write and produce and host the show. And then we have a show on Apple Podcasts called The Number One Person Airways, which is a podcast, which wasn't a podcast initially. It was a radio show we produced out of Hollywood initially in the early 2000s in Hollywood at a station called American Radio Network.
Okay.
On KLAS 89.7. And then since the pandemic, we turned the regular radio show into a podcast. So all of it is through actual Warzone Comics.
Interesting. So what prompted the change from being in front of the camera to behind and beside the camera?
I've always been doing both.
Okay.
I've always been in front of and behind it. So some of the projects that we technically produce through Warzone Comics, I help be on both sides of the camera. Some of the projects also I write some of the projects as well too with other talent.
Do you have a preference, whether it's writing, producing, starring? What's your preference, Prince?
I like all of it.
Yeah.
In its own proper place. I get enjoyment out of a little everything. It depends on what the project is and what's going on at the moment and what's needed for the actual project itself.
Okay.
I get enjoyment out of everything. Got
it. So listen, I'm starting my career as an entertainer, as you probably heard my little opening monologue there.
Oh yeah, I'm digging that monologue, by the way.
Awesome. So what kind of advice you got for old Uncle Keith here to become the entertainer? I'm looking to become the entertainer of the year. So you're in Los Angeles. Maybe you can go walk on down the street and knock on Jay's door or Dave's door or Conan's door or John's door, anybody's door to say, hey, I met the next greatest talk show host in the world. I was on a show.
But you know what? The best advice I would give anybody is consistency and patience. Because most people want to be the biggest, baddest, whatever the case is. And that's cool. I get it. I get the idea of being the best at whatever you're technically working to technically do, right?
Yes.
Being patient and being consistent at it is a whole different. It'll take you further than probably talent ever will. Like, and people don't really realize that. Like when you tell people like I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do this or do that or whatever the case,
Yeah.
your word is your bond. Like if you tell a person if you tell people I'm gonna be doing this show at this day in this time, right?
Yes.
You can fulfill obligations or requirements and live up to what you say you're going to technically do. It opened the door. It'll technically open doors. If you can't fulfill deadlines, fulfill timelines in date, your talent it would defeat your talent. It would defeat you in the process of what you're.
You know, it's interesting you say it because you live in Los Angeles, Hollywood, the center of the entertainment universe, and we both know exceptional, talented entertainers that probably had a bad attitude or sucked at being on time, or maybe had something around the edges that prevented them from having the kind of success that they desired to have. Okay?
Well, if you look at any of your entertainers that you may know, right?
Yes.
And look at research their record of what made them fail as being an entertainer, right? It was never really it was never their talent itself that got in the way. It was who they were and they're not adjusting to it, or their bad attitude, or their being on time or not being on time and stuff like that, or whatever the case is, or not being consistent. It's always generally been the person that thing that made them fail as in their profession, whether it be entertainment, whether it be in business, whether it be anything else, right? The requirement is the idea of being consistent and fulfilling your obligation, what you're technically trying to do. You can be Rockefeller, right? Or a billionaire, or whatever the case.
Yeah.
If you can't fulfill time restraints, you can't fulfill your obligations and all this stuff, you must just wrap it up.
So really the biggest piece of advice you're giving me is just keep showing up.
I mean, because like most of the time it's that's what it is. And then your attitude. Check your attitude at the door. You can be the biggest, baddest, whatever the case is, right?
Yes.
Your attitude is also the same thing will get you in the door to people, will kick you out right out the door as well too.
Yeah, it's so true.
And they will replace you. Think about all of the actors who, or not just actors, but like if you look at again, if you look at any of the people who you bring entertainment. So in entertainment, I bring entertainment. If you look at any entertainer who lost jobs, right? Is their behavior that technically got them up?
Isn't that true? It's funny because I'm listening to you talk and I'm thinking about I'll just throw his name on top. David Caruso, CSI Miami. I remember when that show was on. I'm dating myself because I was born in the 1820s, so it's actually before black and white television and so forth. So we're talking super Prince. You probably weren't even thought of when I was watching that show. Anyways, David Caruso was making great television. CSI Miami was on the upswing that one season. Then he was like, "Hey, I'm a fucking great actor. People all should work with me." And he was all about the sunglasses and had this great attitude. Not. And then he was like, "I'm going to be a movie star." So I remember his first movie flopped, and then his TV career flopped because his attitude sucked. And Caruso, if you're listening to me, I'm sorry, man. I'm calling it out what I saw. You can come to the lab, we can talk about it, but I think you'd agree with me that we made some poor choices along the way, and those poor choices were linked to attitude, had bad attitude, and that bad attitude rubbed people the wrong way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So talk to me about transitioning from a child actor to an adult producer, writer, actor in Hollywood. And then I'm gonna kind of add a second part of that question, especially in light of all this unfortunate discussion happening around Nickelodeon and child actors and the exploitation of child actors over the years. Can you talk about that, Prince?
Well, me being a child actor, I was only a child actor for the King Show.
Okay.
Right? So I wasn't a child actor. Although the King Show is in Hollywood, of Hollywood, the only companies I've ever worked for in Hollywood that built projects in Hollywood, well, I can say it this way. I technically worked with the King Show since I was 14 years old, which you'll see in my bio.
Yes. Yep.
Outside of that, I worked for Warzone Comics, of course, right? And then I've helped other companies like participated in other companies when I got older, of course,
Gotcha.
like the Vicky Show, Typical in LA, the Princess Joy Celebrity Talk.
Yes.
Other producers with their shows as well too. I didn't produce their shows. I just helped with other shows itself, right?
Gotcha.
But you technically, if you look at the show on Amazon Prime, we have a trailer to some of what my career was like. Not when I was like a kid, but like as an adult. When I did shows on the Prince George Show, which we relaunched on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Me get interviewed on the Vicky Show with my co-host and my protege Vicky, and also with my mentor Professor Da Vinci from the King Show. We put a trailer of what my development of my career over the years, and then we relaunched the show. We're going to relaunch the show to what we're doing right now. So if you're ever on Amazon Prime,
which I am.
Look up the show, the Prince George Show on Amazon Prime, and you'll technically see that there's a trailer there, right?
Yeah.
Right now, in the process of writing and producing, writing a couple episodes that we're gonna launch up on Amazon Prime under the Prince George Show. But the trailers you see on Amazon Prime is technically the trailer to what my career, like what I've done some of the things I've done in my career as far as shows concerned.
Right. So Prince, I did look earlier, and maybe because I'm in Canada here, I didn't see it, but I looked up Prince George on Amazon. I followed your bio there, and I didn't find. So what am I looking for exactly in Amazon Prime? I'm looking for Prince George, right?
Okay.
Sure. I need to believe I'm talking to a prince. Maybe I got to type in King. I'm obviously joking with you right now, but
give me 1 second to
got to refresh the feed. Make sure it pops up in the feed for me.
If you look up, if you go to Amazon, if you go look at Warzone Comics online, and you'll probably see everything we technically do. But if you want to see the actual trailer for the Fringe George Show, I'll bring it up for you right now.
Yeah, what can we show it? Can we put it on the air here? I'd love to show it. Let's do it. Okay. So you,
I'll show you. I will show it to you right now. To be honest,
let's do that.
Let me get it for you real quick, and you'll technically. This is just a sample of what I technically did.
Let's do that. So Prince George is going to show us a sample of what he technically did as a actor and acting and part of Warzone Comics and so forth. He's finding the trailer on Amazon Prime here. And Prince, on the bottom of your screen, I think you have the opportunity to present. I'm doing it right now. Beautiful.
Can you see it? Can you see it now?
Yeah, here it is right here. There we go. I'm adding it to this.
This is the show through, as you see, it says the studio is Trinity Vision Entertainment, Warzone Comics.
Yeah.
They produce the actual show. And
there we go.
Because I have it up already.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Prince George Show. I'm your host, Prince George. I know y'all are asking.
I don't know why it's buffering like that, but it is.
Hey, that's you.
Yeah.
Why is the Prince dressed like this?
Absolutely. Sorry.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Prince.
I don't know what.
Why is buffering like I'm your host, Prince George.
But
I know y'all are asking.
What I will do for you, and I don't do it for most people, is I'm going to send you a link for it. So
that'd be great. That'd be awesome. We'll put it out for Business Athlete Nation. So Prince, how did you get your show on Amazon? Can I get my show on Amazon?
If you know what, that takes business prowess. I don't have any business prowess. No, well, you know what, Warzone Comics is what we do. And that's one of the things I've learned around being around Warzone Comics is the business part as well as the acting, the writing, and everything else.
Okay.
And so I like when you asked the question earlier, which one I like doing more of?
Yeah.
I like the talent. I like all the talent and stuff. I like being behind the scenes, helping behind the scenes as well.
Then I have a proposition for you, Mr. George, Mr. Prince.
What's up?
I suspect that you might have yourself a good old famous talk show host sitting in front of you here you might want to represent. Maybe, just maybe, you might hang up the show here and say to yourself, well, hell, I'm going to go bring out Mr. Uncle Keith, bring him into the stable, bring him into Warzone Comics. Maybe you'll help Uncle Keith to get his show on Amazon Prime.
I mean, if that's what you want to technically do, absolutely.
Oh, interesting. So how would that work? You'd represent me as an agent and you take a percentage of my cut?
No, I mean, it depends on how you want to go about it. If you want to write stuff for your own show on Prime,
yeah,
we can help you with that. Warzone Comics itself can help you with that.
Interesting.
If you want to negotiate, we're negotiate case by case basis.
Okay.
Whatever you want to tend to negotiate, if you want to negotiate off camera, then we can talk to you. We can talk to you off camera, and then we can help you put it together. Put together your package off.
Interesting. So let's keep the dialogue going on camera. So what would that mean? That would mean you'd put together my kit, per se, my package, and then you'd go and shop that package around the agents in Hollywood and say, hey, I got this guy making a show, and he's the world's biggest talk show host on YouTube.
It depends on how you want to go about it.
Okay.
We don't make those kind of decisions for you. We're just facilitating on your behalf. So
I see.
How would you want to go about it?
Okay. Interesting. But the point is, you could do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Well, let's put that aside. Maybe we'll have to revisit that part of the conversation. So tell me a little more about Warzone Comics, and tell me about today, and tell me what that's all about, and tell me about
Well, we started out our first character, the essence of who we are as a company started out in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Before the internet and YouTube and Facebook and social media pages and all that other good stuff, right? Back when Yahoo was before Yahoo's infancy, back when it was GeoCity, which is dating much, but we back when we as artists, some of the artists that represent Warzone Comics, back when we were in high school and junior high school, right? We were artists back then, and we used to technically go around and draw and write and everything we technically do as a company. We was in the infancy stage back then. And since when we graduated high school, a year out of high school, we decided to make it an official business back in 2002.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And so initially we was only a comic book company initially.
Okay.
For 3 months up until we got the Prince George. So like the initial, we were doing comic books and writing and drawing and blah blah blah. And then in June of 2002, we got the opportunity to do the Prince George show, the initial Prince George. And so we started doing it, and we started getting our name out there and helping other companies and other people.
Mm-hmm.
We got offered our own. Well, actually, it was helping the King Show. Sorry, it was helping the King Show, which is my mentor show. It was helping the King Show initially.
Okay.
And through helping the King Show, we got offered by Time Warner at the time, which was attached to Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And a few other studios to offer the opportunity to do our own.
Interesting.
Which became the Prince George. And also, we met the owner of Warzone Comics, George Sauce Easy, met Pistacio Da Vinci, my mentor, because we did music, and we initially performed music on his show initially.
Okay, so rap music, correct?
No, we do a genre of music called rap rock renaissance. So we do all genres of music. Rap is one of the genres, but is not necessarily the only genre we technically do.
Well, I know that when we put the old rap rock renaissance title on the old pivot here for you, because that's how I understood the music was. But it's a fusion of rap, rock. It's a mixture of all types of musical genres.
It's a music fusion. See, which is a funny thing, because growing up, my first music that I was introduced to growing up as a kid, right, was country music initially, because my grandparents are from the country.
Okay.
So we introduced us to country music. So initially we grew up with country music initially.
Yes.
And then my mother introduced us to
urban,
the Motown sound.
Yes.
And stuff like that or whatever. And then friends introduced us to like boy bands and rock music.
Yes.
And then other friends introduced you to rap and everything else. So
nice.
We got it from every angle of music itself. And then my mom was a songwriter and composer back then as well too.
Excellent. Hey Prince, so what's your goals? What are your ambitions and goals for going out on the podcast circuit and interacting with hosts like myself? What are you looking to achieve from your driving the circuit?
Well, as of right now, we're promoting 2 projects right now.
Okay.
Well, actually, a couple projects, but the main 2 projects is the Bugsy Becoming project that's coming out August 30th, 2024.
Okay.
Turning the comic book into a motion picture.
Okay.
And then also we have the show, the Prince George show, we launching on Amazon Prime.
That's awesome. So you're on the circuit then, just like people be on the circuit promoting the talk shows on Letterman or Leno, you're doing podcasts.
Well, you know what? To be honest, I wasn't for sure if I wanted. Well, initially, because I'm on Podmatch, I'm pretty like you and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like you probably. I got invited to come to Podmatch because of the content I was already doing prior to me coming to Podmatch.
Are you liking your experience on Podmatch so far?
It's cool. I like it. I can't complain too bad. It's just it's a unique platform. It's a unique platform for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's you meet a lot of interesting people, great people, a lot of great people like yourself, a lot of great podcasters for
Mm-hmm.
sure. You meet a lot of great different people. Just learning how to navigate the whole the different everybody's different temperament, what they want to know, how to answer the question, and stuff like that or whatever, which is cool. To be honest, I'm used to being in the actual recording studio.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I come from that world. I come from
Of course.
television and radio world.
Of
So
course.
when you're generally in an actual radio station where you're around other radio announcers and this and that or whatever, or in the TV station talking to other producers and writers and everything else.
Yes.
And it becomes a different adjust. It becomes an adjustment. Technically, doing a podcast or doing the show from your office or from home or whatever the case, and a person's not next to you, so you gotta adjust. You gotta adjust in that sense. So they're figuring out their temperament by talking to them, like this.
Yeah. I purposely, oh, here you go. Hey, well, there we go. Check that out too. I got a side camera there. I purposely called this a show, not a podcast, because I did not want to get lumped into the old podcast world.
For sure.
I didn't want to get lumped into the old world of, well, they show up every now and then. They show up every now and then. And I'm like, no, I want to do a show where I show up all the time.
For sure.
Make it entertaining, make it informative, did anything strike you from my opener monologue? Lose yourself. The old idea of if you ever had one shot or opportunity. Does that resonate for Prince George?
That was funny because you're inspired by the rapper Eminem, correct?
Yes, 100% I am. Absolutely, yes.
That's what struck me, and I kind of laughed. It was like, oh, well, he found another way to use it. So it was cool. I like it.
Well, yeah. I figured because it's a way for me to consider, just that whole concept, right? If would you capture it? I have this opportunity in front of me right now, and I can either choose to not do something about it, or I can do something about it. And right now, I'm like, no, I'm going to do something about this opportunity and do everything I can to capture it.
Yeah.
So, hey, Prince, before we wrap up our chat today, I have to my son bought his car, and he's like, hey, Dad, can you go and help me go get my car today? I'm like, sure, let's do it. So he's going to pop by here before the top of the hour. So I had to shorten our show up today. So is there anything we haven't talked about you want to make sure the audience knows about, put on the table, promote Prince George, promote Warzone? What can we make sure the audience knows about that we haven't talked about today?
If you guys want to know more about Bugsy, you want to go and know more about the comic book before the movie comes, you guys can pick up the comic book at Warzone Comics, WZC.com. You also can buy it at Walmart. A book, all of your retail suppliers online, as well as physical books.
Yeah.
If you know more about who we are, just go to either go to the website. On all our social media pages, we're under Warzone Comics. And if you just look up Warzone Comics to know more about who we are, you can type in the words in your search bar, Warzone Comics, and everything that we are and who we are and what we've done and our history of doing Warzone Comics, the Prince George Show, Number Prince Airway, and other projects we've done, and as well as the Bugsy Becoming Movie project, is all there for you. So if you want to know more about us, to know more about me, the company, feel free to reach out. We'll be open to talk to you about whatever it is you want to talk about. If you're like Mr. Keith, like Keith said here, if you want to negotiate deals about your podcast or your TV shows and things of that nature, or want to get things produced, directed, and or distributed, we can also help you with that as well too. And we also can help you distribute it not just in the States, we can help you distribute it overseas as well too. So whatever you're into, we can actually help.
That's awesome. Hey, before we say goodbye, what's the comic book industry like these days, Prince? My perception would be is that there aren't many people reading comic books. But then I pause and think about that, and I think, No.
You know what? To be honest, it's cool. I like it. Think about it. All the movies all the movies and TV shows that you see on television,
Yeah.
all generally derived from comic books. Even the TV show The Walking Dead is a comic book
Yes.
derived from a comic book.
Yeah.
So it's thriving. It's there. It's just the idea of your openness to. It depends on how you want to take in comic books.
Right.
Because it's a bigger open field than just picking up a physical comic book or picking up a digital, or going to your phone and get a digital book off. If you're on Android, you can pick it up off your Google Play Store, or if you're on Apple, you can pick it up off your iPhone or whatever the case. But it's bigger than that, because it depends on how you wanna get it. Like if you want to get it through your physical books, digital books, you're going to get it through movies. There's still conventions all over the place. Like if you're talking about Los Angeles Comic Convention or Comic Con and all other places, they still sell comic books. They still do cosplay, everything else, all based on TV shows or comic books itself.
Wow. Cosplay is bigger than it's ever been, no?
So, yeah, but that's all based on comic books. So it depends on how you're looking at the comic book world itself.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it probably is different than what we probably grew up on initially.
Yes.
You know how normally you had to go when we were younger, you had to go actually to a store and go pick up an actual physical comic book and start reading the actual comic book.
Yes.
But with today's world, generation, you can just go and you don't have to leave home. You can look it up online and have it in your phone in seconds. Have it on your phone. Have it on your audiobook, have it as an audiobook or a physical book or a digital book. So it depends. I mean, it's still booming, in my opinion.
Prince, are we calling them graphic novels today, or are we calling them comic books today?
Well, they're different. There's a slight difference. A comic book is generally one story of a story.
Oh.
A graphic novel is multiple stories.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just learned something today. Okay.
So it's So like you may tend to have 3 or 4 issues in a graphic novel. Then in the comic books, it's just maybe just one.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Prince George, thanks for jumping into the lab with me today and talking about Warzone comics and telling Business Athlete Nation about yourself and about what you guys offer to the audience. Anybody want to check out Prince George? You can find him on LinkedIn. You can find him on X, Instagram, as well as Warzone Comics. And you can find him on Prime on Warzone Comics. Prince, you want to hang tight in the green room while I say goodbye to the audience?
Sure.
Hang tight. 1 second here. I'm going to say goodbye to the audience and we'll walk you out. All right. There you have it. Prince George, live in the lab with Keith Bilous. A little shortened version today. Gotta go pick up the car. It's true. Hey, so before we go, if you caught the opening monologue, then you don't need to hear what I'm going to say next. If you didn't catch the opening monologue, you want to catch the closing monologue, which I'm going to give you right now. If you had one moment, one shot, one opportunity, cliche, and that one chance gave you the opportunity to capture everything that you've ever wanted to do, would you do it? Or are you going to let it slip? If somebody said to you, hey, Keith, hey, Joe, hey, Prince, hey, Lisa, there are 1 billion people in front of you. All you need to do is go and interact with them. And if you keep showing up every single day interacting with them, over time, you're going to build a business. You're going to build an audience. You're going to become the world's biggest YouTube talk show host. All you got to do is just keep showing up. Would you capture it? Or would you let the moment slip by? Well, I can tell you, the last few days, I have been sending individual videos to every single person that's been connecting with me. And they're like, holy smokes, you're serious? Oh, fuck, I'm serious. We're on a mission to create the world's biggest talk show on YouTube and LinkedIn. And we're doing that by connecting with you, 1-to-1. If you like what we're doing, come connect with me. And one last thing, if you want to take yourself to the next level, personally or your business, I have an invite here into the lab. A few of you have taken me up on it. That's what's happening. I make recommendations. I make suggestions. You guys make the decisions. I'm doing it. You guys want to join me? You're more than welcome. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow in the lab. Let me pull up the old calendar. Sorry, Melissa. Professional guy here needs to look at the calendar. Tomorrow in the lab, I believe we have Jeremy Ryan, pro surfer. Guy's got a story. A surfer dude from California joining me live in the lab tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow mornings in the lab with Keith and Nicole. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go walk Prince out the door. I'm going to go pick up a car and I'm going to keep talking to all of you one by one. We'll see you guys